So first, let me qualify things before I tell you my opinion. Happymodel, I like them. I, bought quite a bit of their products. Here's a Mobula 7. Here's an old Happymodel Snapper 7 that I modified and went to a plastic frame. If I was to talk about reliability, you have an $84 whoop here, and here's the Meteor 65, and it's 109. Now you might think, okay, well, this is a lot better value, but one problem you can run into with Happymodel is reliability. And for me, my experience has been the motors. I had this for a week now, and this rear motor here is gone out.
So to isolate whether or not this is a bad ESC, what I did, because the wire was too short just to swap the two, I just went ahead and moved the top motor here to the bottom. I know that motor's good, and let's see what happens. So if it doesn't spin, we know that it's a bad ESC. Okay, let's see if it's the ESC or the bad motor. As you know, I had the good motor up here. I moved it down to the bottom position here. So let's go ahead and see if it, yeah, see how it kind of stutters, starts and stops. It's definitely a bad ESC. So unfortunately, I'm either gonna have to buy a different flight controller or see if Banggood will take this back. And, Happymodel can be hit or miss. And in this case, it was a miss. I do have, a lot of their other products. I have a Mobula 7 that, was one of the first batches that came out, and it's still up flying. But, they are a lower cost. I don't know if it's their quality control, and they just don't want to spend a lot of money on that. But, it's... I think in my experience, Beta FPV has been more reliable for me, but of course it's a small sample, so I can't really say that definitively. But for me, I still like their products, but you have to factor into the cost, either having replacement motors. For me, it's always been, in the past, has been motors that have been bad, but in this case it's a bad ESC. So just again, buyer beware. You have to again factor in the lower cost with some exposure to reliability problems.
So let's finally close out the saga of the Mobula 6. I'm going to order a replacement board for the standard version here. I did get in the 25,000 kV race version, and I'm happy to say it is performing rock solid. Interestingly, it is running Betaflight 3.5.7, and the standard version was running 4.0.6. And then also, if you can see, this one has the little foam in here to stabilize the camera. This one doesn't. So it's almost like they came off of different manufacturing lines. So the pros of this quad, so I'm going to be talking about the 25K version because that's the one that was the most reliable for me. Of course, it's extremely lightweight and nimble. The race version flies great. Yes, there's throttle control, is a little touchy, but you get used to it after a while, and you can always put in a throttle curve on this if you find it to be a little excessive. I think where it shines, if you like flying both indoors and outdoors, and you want to fly in your backyard and do some power loops on a calm day, I think this quad is for you. I was able to do real nice slow power loops, and I wasn't getting any noticeable yaw washout, which is pretty incredible for a little teeny micro whoop like this. It does fly very much similar to the Beta FPV Meteor 65. Another pro on this is the VTX is good. I was getting really good range outdoors, and my mother was inside. I had an extra pair of goggles, and she was watching it, and she said she wasn't getting any video breakups at all. And I was clear outside flying down the street a little ways, and she could get a good view indoors while I was flying outdoors. So the cons, flight time is not that great for the race version. I was getting about 2.5 minutes of flight time, both indoors and out. You know, I wasn't really, you can see where my throttle percentage was. It wasn't that high, and I was a mix of doing power loops and just tooling around. So yeah, the flight time isn't that great. For the standard version, I was getting about 3 minutes before the ESC went bad on it. I was a little disappointed in the camera. The automatic white balance did not seem to work well. I think the color detail is great. The color's great and the detail is good. But when I was flying indoors, I was getting blowouts when I was facing a window. And you can see that in the video I'll show you. Also, outdoors, I was seeing a lot of micro vibrations, and I think, of course, that's why they put on that little foam thing there to stabilize the camera. Lastly, I question reliability. I don't mind swapping out motors, but a flight controller going bad after only 5 packs is not that great. And hopefully I will have better luck with the race version. So is the Mobula 6 a hit or miss? I'm going to give it a tempered hit. As you know, like I stated, reliability is a concern for me. I did happen to get the first run production on this. I ordered it early, and so hopefully the reliability will go up. When you first start up a production line, I mean, yeah, you can have some teething pains. So I'll close this video with a short indoor and outdoor flight with the race version. And as always, thanks for watching.